pulling weeds is for pussies. I will never pull another weed. I will burn it to the ground with my new tool. This is from Harbor Freight, half of it. That's a 20-pound propane tank for like a gas grill or something like that. It was $30 at Lowe's. I had $20 off of 100. So depending on how you look at it, I bought a little bit of paint, which I'll be making a video of here pretty shortly, to cover my walls. I only paid $10 for him, and that's pretty good. And then I had to pay $19.99 or so plus tax to fill it, so you're looking at $50 for that. The torch I paid 25 and some change with tax out the door. I had a 20% off coupon. I didn't want to wait. Unfortunately, this is one of the few things I've purchased without a 25% off coupon. Couldn't find a coupon that made it better. There was a deal for like, I think $24.99, but 20% off coupon was better than that. It's not a super coupon, sorry, Harbor Freight. You have this one, and then you have the one that's $20. This guy has the igniter on it. This is the one you're going to want to use. You're going to want to use the wrenches that they give you in order to hook it up here. And I put Teflon tape on mine. They actually had some marks on these, but oh well, I own it now. But this thing blows out quite often. The flame blows out. So you do not want the other one, I assure you. This is the one you want. And these are left-handed threads for some reason. People who are familiar with these tanks probably already know that. I have no idea why, but I don't ask questions. So 16.6 pounds is probably what they're allowed to fill it at. It looks like they have to leave room for expansion. This thing gets super cold. You're going to want to use earplugs for this. It is incredibly loud. It's Harbor Freight item 91037. I think this one has really good reviews on it, and I'm going to give it a good review. This thing's amazing. All the cracks in your driveway where the weeds are growing up, and you keep pulling them and pulling them, forget that. Burn them to the ground. I wish this thing was a little longer, by like 5 feet. That would be nice, but it's not. So maybe somebody sells one of these and you can make it longer. This tank is not light. I had no idea how heavy that thing was going to be once they filled it up. It's pretty heavy. The way you want to operate this thing is you're going to want to turn this dial right here to the left, crack it open until you can hear it, and then ignite it. And then once you have a decent flame there, where it's flown out pretty well, you use the trigger. And you don't want to be going against the wind because it'll blow the flame backwards and all the heat and all the other crap. So, and if the wind is constantly changing, well, you're SOL. You want to be very careful about, have a garden hose on, because I got into an area where there was a lot of dry brush under these bushes and they caught fire. And so I had to run in the house. I didn't run because the neighbors were watching me and thought I was freaking nuts, just knucking futs. And they would be right. You know, there's an expression that says, it's better to let people think you're dumb than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Well, I kind of subscribe to the opposite philosophy of that when it comes to neighbors thinking you're crazy. I think it's better to let them know exactly just how knucking futs you are. That way, when they want to get involved with you, they know exactly how much they're biting off. And I think an unknown neighbor makes the best neighbor, personally. You know, make friends with people who live far away from you. That way, when it goes sour, you don't have to see those people on a regular basis. You know? So anyway, let's go back to burning some grass here. It's extremely loud. It sounds like a frickin' jet engine, man, just a turbine. Everybody was driving by and walking by and just standing out in their driveways looking at me. And, you know, the results speak for themselves. There's not a damn green thing in my driveway anymore. And I had all this horrible vine stuff or whatever it is that was growing every bit of 12 to 18 inches tall in the beds of where my trees are out front. And I'll go take pictures of where I burned what I could, you know. Stay away from the fire sprinklers, stay away from the garage door, the aluminum. Got a little too close to that for a little too long and it discolored the paint. I'm not worried about it because I'm going to be repainting the house anyway, so it's not an issue for me. But if you're doing it, you got to be careful. Don't stay on one part of the concrete too long. Otherwise, the concrete will explode and you'll have pieces chipping up and stuff. Also, not a big concern of mine because the driveway is going to get pulverized and I'm going to be putting in pavers, circular driveway with a water fountain and gates and fence and everything like that. But have a garden hose handy because if something does catch on fire, you're going to want to be able to put it out quickly. So I went into the house, tried filling up a 5-gallon bucket, but it was not flowing out fast enough from the laundry room sink. So then I went and got a hose, hooked it up, had to keep stomping on the fire, but it was smoldering pretty good. And ended up hosing it down. And then I just started wetting everything. There's dry palm fronds and everything. And I just started wetting the area I didn't want to catch on fire and just left the hose running and then just torched the hell out of it. I ran this thing for probably 3+ hours last night. I'm a pyro. I love fire. Not like what I used to be, man. When I was younger, I just absolutely loved fire. Zippo had a POWMIA Zippo lighter. I don't know. I mean, I think it's genetic in our family. My father burned down his house with matches when he was like, I don't know, 7 years old or something, playing with matches in the closet. I was playing with my Zippo lighter one time when I was 13, 12 years old, and I had a smoke bomb, and I was taking the fuse and just running it past the flame of the smoke bomb, and all of a sudden it caught, and I tried putting it out, and I couldn't. I tried running to the sliding glass door to open it up, to throw it out, and I couldn't get the damn door open in time, and it was getting ready to go off, and so I dropped it because it burnt my hand, and I was like, shit, I got to contain the smoke. So I took a laundry basket, and I put the laundry basket on top of it, and it's just, you know, and man, it shoots out a flame for a little while. It burned because the flame was pointing down. It burned right through the carpeting, right through the pad to the subfloor. I pulled that up and I almost crapped my pants. I thought, oh my God, my dad is going to kill me. Oh, I'm freaking out. Like, what am I going to do? So I put the laundry basket back on top, upside down. I go to my room. My dad wasn't home yet at the time, and I'm acting like I'm sleeping. I am scared, petrified. I do not want to come out of the room. And my dad comes home, and he smells it. He knows something's up. He doesn't know what the hell it is. He's trying to figure it out. He tells me this all later. And he ends up lifting up that laundry basket and seeing it. And it's one of the few times he did not beat my ass. It must have made a connection to him somehow. He wanted to handle it differently for once. He was in a good mood. I don't know what it was, but I was spared on that day. He came in because he knew I was hiding. He knew I wasn't sleeping at that time of day. And he asked me about it, and I don't remember what he said, Bud, I'm like, yeah, what happened? And I told him, and so it worked out well. So let's go outside, and I'll show you how to burn things legitimately. You can still smell it. Be like Smokey the Bear forest fire. All this stuff had tons of brush. Those were the